Hey everyone, it's March 23rd. It's great to be with you on Read Through the Word today. The Israelites finally are crossing over into the Promised Land. They're crossing the Jordan, and today's lesson paints a really great picture for us. And those of us that have, if you've just joined us, you didn't read the story, but you're aware of the story of the Red Sea and what happens there. This is a similar incident. It's not a sea, it's a river. So the impact, however, the impact is no less great. The miracle is no less, it's not lessened just because it's not a sea, but a river. There'll be other times that we see that God parts the river. Make note of that. He is a river parter. He is a waymaker. There's actually a popular Christian song now called Waymaker. But what we see here is really, really neat in this final movement over into the Promised Land. Because God has told them to consecrate themselves and to get themselves ready for crossing over the Promised Land. And we know what that means. That means sanctify yourself. That means purify yourselves. Do everything possible because God is going to do something great the next day. That's what they were told to do. And they were also told, they were like, in 3 days, this was going to happen. 3 more days. We're waiting 3 more days. We're waiting 3 more days. But notice what happened in those 3 days. The river rose to flood stage, which meant perhaps they looked over at the river at first. Again, I'm just kind of thinking this out loud and thought, that's not too bad. But it was harvest season. It's time for the river to reach its flood stages. And 3 days later, when it's at its peak, that's when God decides it's time to cross. Right? Seriously, God? You want me to do what now when it is seemingly impossible? When I really don't have any idea how I'm going to get across here? This is what you want me to do? You want me to walk ahead? Have you seen the river? Right? But here's the thing. We need to introduce our river to our God. We need to let our obstacle, whatever it might be, meet our God. And I believe in my heart of hearts that God made sure that river was at flood stage. So he would get all the glory. Often when we face that obstacle, whatever it might be, going over into our place of promise, maybe it's the next thing towards our place of promise, whatever that might be. When we accomplish something, when we reach a goal, when we go over that obstacle, move around that obstacle, we're thinking, all right. Yep. All right. I got that. And we take credit for it ourselves. There's no way they could have taken credit for this. Absolutely no way. And that's the relationship that God wants to have with his children. He wants us to live on the edge of the Jordan at all times, waiting to see his power, waiting to experience his presence, and waiting to encounter his peace. They walked right across. I wish I could have seen that. Just the same with crossing the Red Sea. They just walk across. The riverbed's dry. Not only does he stand the water up, but but he dries the river bed so that they can walk straight across. They're not getting stuck in the mud. So here's the thing. I ask myself, how many miracles do I miss? And how many times do I miss the opportunity to experience his presence, witness his power, and encounter his peace because I'm not willing to follow his instructions, consecrate yourself as he told them, or wait the 3 days? What I tend to do is, oh, it's flooding here, so maybe it won't be flooding up there. Or let's wait till the flooding is over and then we'll cross. Again, I lean on my own understanding about things. And when I do that, I miss what could happen 3 days later. So here's our encouragement. Wait the 3 days. And quote unquote 3 days. I understand that many of you have been waiting for things for a really long time. And I'm not trying to minimize that at all. I'm not. I know what it's like to wait on things. I'm not in an intense waiting period right now. I'm in an intense trusting period. Actually, maybe it is a waiting period. There's a big obstacle in front of me. But there isn't anything I can do about it. This obstacle, actually. This is not a Jordan situation, waiting to cross the Jordan. This is just waiting for somebody to do something. But wait the 3 days. Wait the 3 days. Because let me tell you, his power, his presence, and his peace is truly worth a 3-day wait. We will see you next time on Read Through the Word.